Hey guys. Hey. Gosh, so I wanted to chat with you guys. My hair is crazy today. I wanted to chat with you guys as well as do an energy update. So, first off, my name is Emmie. Welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you have ever joined me, thank you for finding me. If this is not the first time, thank you for coming back. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. So I want to say thank you to everyone for all the birthday wishes yesterday. You guys are so ridiculously sweet. Seriously. So ridiculously sweet. And it was weird for me. I've never let people know it's my birthday when it's my birthday. I usually disable my account. I don't celebrate my birthday, but yesterday was amazing, amazingly calm. So what do we do now? I asked the energies, what do we do now? Thank you. I will be going to Vegas for my 21st birthday. And if you guys are really, really curious and really have to know, I already crossed that 40 line the other year. So I'm not 71 and I'm not 21. All right, guys, let me just pull some cards. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of messages this morning, right when I woke up. A lot of messages. They have a lot to do with what the energies are doing for us right now. And many of us are experiencing like a lot of challenges. These challenges are meant to challenge you. It's called a challenge. They're meant to push you beyond your comfort zone. Okay. And you know, we went through this period where we totally were like, we're going to manifest this. We're going to manifest this. We're going to manifest this. We're doing it. Nothing's stopping us. And you really had, if this is resonating with you right now, and it's not meant to resonate with everyone, okay? But if it's resonating with you right now, you really had the charge to go ahead and bring to fruition whatever it was you were trying to manifest. But at the very last second, something was able to convince you, nah, not gonna happen. Well, I don't know. Let's see what's going to happen. The answer's right there. The answer is right there, but I'm going to make y'all wait because we're going to talk and we're going to read and we're going to talk. All right. A lot of repeating energies here. A lot of repeating energies. Ooh, someone combative just hopped on. I felt your salt immediately. You're not even sure what we're talking about yet. You already salty, aren't you? That's okay. That has nothing to do with me. All right, one more. Okay, guys, final deck, okay? Final shuffle of final deck. All right. Oh, you went around? All right. So the first card number 7, Nourishment. It's looking like maybe you put too much of your energy towards manifesting something versus having a balance of being nourished in the moment, as well as attempting to bring to fruition certain things. There needs to be balance, okay? There needs to be balance. It's okay for you to take a moment and be like, do I really need this? Is this really in alignment? Am I really afraid that I won't be able to do this? Or is this old insecurities coming up because of that Mercury retrograde purgative energy? You're going to have to nourish yourself, okay? You need to get more rest. You need to eat better. You need to be more gentle with yourself, because really, for those that this is resonating with, 92% at 829. Ooh, 514, 55, 8. Love it. All of these numbers. Again, this is about love. This is about testing yourself. You're being tested to see if you will choose yourself, choose to cater to your needs versus just catering to your fear. And what does that mean? Okay, well, if you feel like you need something and you're trying to manifest it, and then you have a moment of self-doubt, and then there's a little bit of a hiccup, are you suddenly going to be like, oh my God, I can't manifest this. Now I need to really freak out and do everything I can to make it happen and forego taking care of myself and my needs? That's not the best idea. That's not the best idea. You have to find balance. That is basically you're letting your soul know that you don't trust its ability to provide for you the very things that you actually need, the things that will grow you. And sometimes it's just that little hiccup is just a challenge to see if you will choose to push through and really do this, really get it done, and show yourself. Allow your soul to show you got this, okay? Manifestation is more than just a fixation of thoughts. It is, it's more than just, I believe I can, I believe I can. Okay, belief is really, it's not really something tangible. I believe the sky is purple. Oh, okay. Okay. Sometimes I guess if you look at it from a certain angle at a certain time of the day, the sunset could potentially look a little bit purple. But when you make a statement like, I know it's purple, when the sun hits the sky at a certain angle, it's no longer blue. It looks purple. There's a huge difference. I don't know if I'm making sense with the way I'm explaining this, but there's a huge difference in believing versus knowing. Okay. You have to enter a state of knowing. Like this little hiccup, it's a hiccup. This is really just forcing me to choose to push through. That's all this is. And I'm going to push through. This is not going to stop me. This is not going to stop me because I know I need to do this. I need to experience this. And there's a huge difference in that conviction versus, well, it sounded good when someone said something about it and it kind of, I felt inspired and I feel like I should have this. And I don't understand why I never am given the things that I feel like I should have. Okay. You feel like you should have it, or do you know if this is something that needs to be a part of your journey? That's a huge difference, okay? Card number 10, become a loving mirror. Again, this has to do with nurturing yourself, loving yourself, allowing yourself to travel through your life's lessons and journey and not keep beating yourself up, okay? Don't keep beating yourself up. Now, I had someone in one of the lives, they were asking if they were going to be able to manifest the funds to attend one of my events. And the cards were saying yes, but I guess there was a hang up. And then I randomly saw a few minutes after their reading ended, apparently they have items that they've been holding on to that they don't really need. And they're now willing to let that go. So maybe for some, it's really about creating balance. You can't just keep acquiring because of this sense of need, sense of this belongs to me, I deserve this. Well, do you really? Do you really? Or is that something you're just telling yourself because you've convinced yourself that's a part of your self-love journey? It's like it goes back to, again, using my event. Someone got really upset and was talking about how they're so disappointed in me because, I don't know, I guess they were expecting a free event. I don't know what they were expecting. But like, I deserve to blah, blah. Oh, well, ain't nobody telling you you have to go through this in order to launch your business. You can absolutely devote your time and your energy and your funds discovering for yourself what I discovered for myself. So it's the same with life, you guys. Are you going to continue to hold on to something, keep that with you because you don't want to let it go, but it's not serving a purpose? Or are you willing to instead allow that to be transmuted into a form of currency, energy, money, whatever it is? Energy and money is the same thing. And allow it to provide for you. Sometimes that's what we have to recognize, that we have everything in front of us that we need in order to provide for our needs, but we're waiting for a handout. 88% at 835. 8888. Ooh, wee. That's 4 8s. Reunification in all 4 directions. 16 and 16 becomes 7 and 7. Elevated completion. 7 plus 7 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. Change. Something within you right now is changing, realizing like, holy shit, I have had so much stuff that I have acquired over a period of time, and it's just sitting there. Whether it be knowledge, whether it be belongings, you have acquired quite a bit over the course of your lifetime. And it's just taking up space. Do you really need that? Or can you convert that into a different form of currency for yourself? Do you really need all of that old stuff in your garage? We don't know. That's something you have to decide for yourself, right? It's about becoming a loving mirror. You're doing all of this work to empty out all of these stagnant energies that have been within you. You know, all these emotions, all these thoughts. We're purging them in this Mercury retrograde, but we're not allowing our environment to mirror what we're doing within ourselves. And it's said, you know, a messy environment sometimes is a reflection of a messy mind. What are you reflecting? What's your environment reflecting? No one knows the answer to that but you, okay? This is not about condemning you or making you feel badly about yourself. This is about really bringing to your attention, you have everything you need in front of you. Everything you need in front of you. If you needed assistance finding some sort of professional for something that you're struggling through, don't you know a person that knows a person that knows a person? Maybe it's time to come out of your cocoon of suffering and shame and begin reaching out. Hey, do you know anyone that could help me with this? Do you know anyone that knows anyone? There you go. That's how it starts. That's how it starts. This is why prayer can be so frustrating for me. My mom is very devoutly religious, and it was always this sense growing up. Well, things don't happen for you because you don't pray. No, things don't happen because I quit at the last moment. Action is necessary. Prayer begins as a thought, but typically it will not come to fruition until you put action behind it. Okay, prayer is like setting an intention. It's an intercession on your behalf, but it fails to take the next step and recognize you have divinity within you. You're not asking something outside of yourself. You've been cleaved from divinity and are a co-creator of your environment. So when you pray, make sure the God within you answers that prayer. Don't wait for something outside of you. Make it happen for you. And people will often, well, I don't believe in God because I prayed and I didn't get what I wanted. Well, what did you do? Did you just pray? Or did you put some action into that? God gave you 2 hands and 2 feet and a fucking brain. Use all of that. Use all of that. Those components can answer every single one of your prayers immediately. Yet we sit there and we wait for someone outside of us to give to us what we believe is rightfully ours. Hey, the way I see it, if you really believe something is rightfully yours, you will take it. Right? Look at children. No, this is my toy. Snatch it. Whether it's their toy or not. They believe it's theirs, so they're snatching it back. I mean, is that right? Not necessarily. But it helps to see, it helps you to see how you have been enabling whatever crippling circumstance you're in. Granted, you're not just going to snatch from someone else. You've elevated your consciousness to some form of adulthood, hopefully, but it's not for someone else to provide for you the very things that you're needing, that you believe you're needing, okay? Card number 43, the unexpected. This is a reunification. The unexpected reunification of all the aspects of yourself. This coming back together, this allowing for circumstance and reconnections to occur, because these are the very things that are going to elevate you, elevate your understanding, elevate your ability to provide for yourself, to realize you can and will provide for yourself. 4 plus 3 is 7. This is the nourishment you need. 7 and 7, same deck. Reflections, right? Okay. Ooh. So I pulled a couple cards from my current favorite deck. 7 of Pentacles, work frustrations, hard work needing to be done, either at work or a situation in life. Okay. 7, 7, 7. Allow yourself to nourish yourself. Allow what's rightfully yours to return back to you. You have to allow this. This is not something that's just going to happen. You have to consciously choose it. We're going through a cycle right now where conscious decisions have to be made. Ooh, card number 3, Mercury, mind. Decisions rooted in the heart space. Look at all that green. Card number 3. Hold on. Mercury, mind. The planet of gaslighting. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh. Otherwise, they'll kill you. Ooh, sometimes people are not ready to hear the truth, not ready to see the truth, not ready to accept accountability for how their life has been going. Is your life really that bad? Or is it not as good as the person you're comparing it to? Which one is it? Is it really that bad, or is it just not as good when you compare it to someone else? And I promise you, if you're comparing it to someone on social media, they're lying. I promise you that. I just watched a video yesterday. It was interesting. I don't even know how I got to it, but I was reading articles and then I scrolled down and I happened to see a link for a video. This one YouTuber / Instagrammer, I actually like her. She faked she faked a vacation to Bali by taking pictures at IKEA. Girlfriend. And she was kind of doing this as a social experiment, I guess. I mean, why else would she make a video about what she was doing? You know, and she was recording the video as she was posting on her social media. She even left tags from IKEA in the pictures. And she goes, my followers, they're smart. They know me. They're going to see. They're going to call. No one called her out on anything. I stopped watching the video halfway, but no one called her out on anything. And she's like, I can't believe they don't notice. How do you not notice this? Well, because people are so accustomed to seeing and coveting things that they don't quite understand. And this is a huge thing that I've been seeing lots of articles being written about lately, where it's coming out that these people are really not having the kind of vacation or life experience that they're putting on social media. Okay, so what are you really comparing your life to? Alive. So here, this suggests you must put effort behind your talk. Boom. 82% at 844. Boom. Boom. You got to put effort behind your talk. The creation doesn't care. It doesn't care how spiritual you sound. It goes by the currency of your actual thoughts that you're not sharing. That's what it goes by. That's what it goes by. And this is not about you needing to delete the recordings of ugly things from your life, like the ugly things that people have tried to program you with, thoughts of yourself not being enough, and that you're one type of person when you're not like that. Those recordings need to exist. This is something that I learned. Someone was like, well, it's because you're listening to the recordings years ago. You have recordings within your mind that other people programmed, and you're believing those recordings. You have to erase them. 81% at 845. 989. Okay. This is the reunification, flanked and held up by God essence. God's helping you stand right now. Creator, prime creator, universe, zero, whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay. It's helping you stand right now. It's holding you by your armpits, propping you up. So someone once told me that, and it was their desire to help me, genuine desire to help me, not to cut me down. And I understood that. And I sat with that thought for quite some time. And I really, really destroyed myself trying to figure out how to delete those recordings. And then my personality kicked in. I got frustrated as F. And my freaking personality kicked in. F that, F that, F that. No, I'm not deleting shit. Every time I'm hearing it, I'm going to prove to you, I'm not even going to fight with you no more. I don't care. I'm going to show you I'm doing this. Nothing you can do to stop me. I'm doing it. And that's when I realized those recordings were recorded for you to feel some sort of rebelliousness hearing it. It's supposed to trigger you, so you can remember not to return back to that place where you felt unheard, where you felt like you had no power. Get rebellious. Spirituality is not about fitting in, because the box is gilded with lots of, mandalas and sigils, and it has the inscription of the angels. It's still a fucking box. It's still a box is a box is a box. It's a box. Were you meant to fit in a box? Or are you ready to transcend this belief that you have to go from one box to another, which is what many people are doing. They're going from the box of religion and they're jumping into the box of spirituality, which is the new religion. Okay. And in between those two boxes, there was a box of science, which was yet another religion. It was another construct to keep you bound to very specific and limited ways of being, thinking, expression. True spirituality is getting pissed off enough that you destroy the whole fucking box. You don't just step out of the box. Destroy the box and use it as a fuel for your rise. That's what true spirituality is. It's about allowing all of the things in your life that have held you down to finally be the impetus, that catalytic moment where you just burst into flame because you're sick of it. You're no longer going to allow yourself to struggle. You were not created for this. You were created for something more. And then people are going to come to you and be like, wow, you're full of yourself. You're just full of yourself. Wow. Well, are you upset that I'm not full of you? Who did you think I should be full of? The neighbor? Who am I supposed to be full of? A guru that you chose for me? I'd like to think my life is my creation, therefore it should be full of me, right? That's part of the self-love journey, right? And people are going to tell you, oh, you're narcissistic. Well, self-love is a narcissistic process. It's about making you the center of your universe. Now, if I'm spinning on an axis, which that movement, that kinetic movement is what develops the charge to continue the battery that runs this live, continue the charge, right? Continue the charge. Why would I ever place myself anywhere but center? The centripetal force of being on the outskirts of someone else's spin is going to throw me. Why would I ever want to be orbiting you? Are you powering me and my life? My learning? No, you're not, are you? So you can put whatever labels you want on me. But the fact is, I know in my heart, my character, my integrity, I hurt no one, I use no one, I help and help and help. And why am I allowing you to talk to me like this and convince me of this? That's 5 things I already named that make me want to soft slap myself. Girl, wake up. People shouldn't be allowed to convince you that you're less than what you are, which is truth infused into flesh. Every single last one of us. We are shards of truth infused into flesh and allowed to experience that truth and its expression in our lives. So when you're living someone else's dream, comparing your life to someone else's life, which mind are you using? Your conscious mind? The one that's run by a little monkey? The little monkey mind that acts like a toddler and flings shit when it has a tantrum, existing in its nice little cage. But it's okay because it gets 3 square meals a day. The cage gets hosed off. I mean, what is it? What is it? You know? Which mind are you using? Are you using a monkey mind, or are you using a soul? Are you using your soul? Are you allowing your soul? Who knows? Card number 21, opulence. It's time to lead. It's time. Lead yourself. Lead yourself out of your own dark night of the soul. Stop fixating on how long you've been there and lead yourself. It's a very real fact. When you keep your eyes covered for a prolonged period, okay? Prolonged period, even at night, notice how when you wake up, you can see the details of your room versus when you first turn the lights off, because your eyes are able to dilate, okay? You're able to see some forms even in the dark. Your eyes will adjust. You were created and designed to adjust. It's when you choose not to adjust to the different lessons that life brings you that you really begin to suffer. I was talking to a dear friend of mine, and I was like, I think, and I hope you don't get offended by this, but I think it's time for you to recognize the limits in your perceptions are really caging you. This expectation of all or nothing is really ruining your ability to truly be present in your life, to truly experience. Can it maybe be like, instead of all or nothing, like all of this is my something. All of this is needing to be experienced and assessed and really just looked over and see what life's trying to teach me in this moment. And I mean, these are just, hey, something for you to consider. Are you living wrong? No, I'm just, you're sharing your thoughts with me and the things that you're kind of struggling through. And when you do that, there's a part of me that sometimes is instructed to do more than listen, to share with you like, hey, you're probably not noticing this, but this is what your higher self is bringing to my attention. And what you do with this information, it's really up to you. How you apply it to your life and your growth is up to you. But you need to know this because you've blinded yourself from this. So card number 8, the path. The path is not just on the ground. For some of us, this path includes going up a rickety ladder and quantum jumping into a whole nother way of being. For quite a few of us, this is exactly what's happening in this period, okay? This Mercury retrograde and all the other planetary blah, 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 blah. That's what's happening. That ladder is being constructed in front of you, and it's up to you if you're going to climb it. Notice how the path's not in front of her, traveling some path that, goes to somewhere else on the same plane. The truth of the truth of spiritual leveling up is that you're quantum leaping into different dimensional levels of consciousness. Okay? If you, through this process that you've been going through, suddenly feel like I've just lost my fight, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to fight myself. I don't want to fight other people. Like, I'm just tired. I don't know why we can't all just get along. And I don't really know what to do. I don't really know if I've learned anything. There's a high likelihood that your monkey mind has been dethroned and you've just done a quantum leap to a higher level of consciousness. There's a huge, huge possibility of that. There's also a huge possibility that you're no longer identifying with the person you see looking back at you in the mirror. And for some, this quantum leap in consciousness even leads to not identifying with your name. I went through that too. Like, I don't even know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing in life. I have no idea what's going on with me. I don't know if I've lost my mind or maybe I've been low-key poisoned or something. I don't know. I don't know who I am. I don't know my name. And people would address me, hey, and I'm looking right at them and the name wouldn't register. When someone calls your name, whether you have your back to them or you're facing them, it registers. I'm being addressed. My focus is on you. Screaming my name. Who are you calling? You. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm kind of out of it. No, it's just I stopped identifying with the human. For a period, I had to stop identifying with the human. I don't know why. But it definitely led to my ability to expand on a much more elevated plane of dimensional consciousness. When you let go of your identity that's limited to just the human being, you open up the potentiality, like you rip it wide open. So card number 47, Grand Cross Provoker. Many of you are experiencing a period of being provoked. What's it provoking? Just a fight, just an argument? Is that all you are? Or is it provoking higher levels of thought? Is it encouraging you? That person is crazy. Okay. My dogs are put away. That's all I need to know. My dogs are put away. There will be no dog fight. Okay, card number 47, Grand Cross Provoker. What are you allowing yourself to be provoked into? What is it? Is it your growth? Is it people in your life are provoking you to think much deeper thoughts? And it might not be their intention to grow you with these arguments, cyclical arguments, but it also might be that your higher self is allowing them in, is encouraging them to try and provoke you, to expand whatever it is you're contemplating. This is all about allowing ourselves to grow unrestricted, unlimited. And the only limits that exist are the ones that you believe in. That's a fact. It's a fact. It's one of my most favorite things that Michael has said to me. Card number 47, Grand Cross Provoker. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. This is an area of tension in a chart that's becoming a great catalyst for movement and change. Remember that movement builds a kinetic charge within your field. Notice that when you feel energized, you have to move, you have to do something, you have to create, you have to. Okay? That's what's going on right now. Let's see. The Grand Cross is also called the Cosmic Cross, is symbolic of the 4 seasons, equinoxes, and solstices, as well as the cross quarter days, indicating a period of time in your life may seem at cross purpose. When this card pops up, it indicates a crisis, yet through this calamity will be a painful process of growth, then renewal, and eventually a greater foundation for happiness and success. Ooh, wee. 9 of Wands, pressure, discipline, frustration, growth, defensiveness, competition, victory. So I am being given, I don't know who has to hear this, but I'm being given a message. Sometimes there will be a person in your life that serves as the Grand Cross, as the provoker. They will continue to exist as dead weight. And you will continue to be forced to carry their weight until you recognize this is not for me to carry. I'm cutting you loose, but thank you for making me that much stronger. Because all this time that you've been carrying their dead weight, you have been building stamina and endurance. You have been working on your strength. And so now, are you ready to admit you're much stronger than you ever gave yourself credit for? And you can do this without them there. Or do you need to carry them a bit longer? The choice is up to you. The choice is up to you. Okay? Do you have to work at it every single day? For some people, yes. For some people, they're not done yet, and this is something that needs to continue. For other people, what are you really doing here? What are you doing? Are you there because they haven't chosen to leave yet? Why do you have to wait for them to choose? I mean, if you're going to carry me and I don't want to walk, why the hell would I get off of your back? You're willing to carry me, right? That's the logic. If you're going to carry me and I don't want to walk, why do I have to get off your back? You're willing to. You haven't had a problem. And then there's those people who, that sucks. That sucks. I'm being shown there are people who want to be a dead weight, choose to be a dead weight because they cannot stand the knowing of your rise. They cannot stand it. And if they continue to stay, it makes it harder for you to rise. Well, do you owe them something that you would agree to that? Who knows? Who knows? I'm being told do not allow the excuse of past life karmic debt to excuse your decision, your personal decision to allow the continuance of the abuse of your sovereignty. Ooh, boom. My higher self is triggered. Calm down, boo-boo. This has nothing to do with us. Hey, too many people use, oh, but we have a karmic tie. Okay, so you're going to continue the bullshit from the previous life into this one? Okay. Okay. But he's my twin. Okay, so you're going to continue that? Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. You do for you what you feel is right for you. But just know you're using karmic things as an excuse to perpetuate. Hey, maybe it's time for you to recognize this is self-sabotage. Punishment. Because you don't believe you deserve to be happy. You don't believe you deserve to rise. You don't believe, you don't believe, you don't believe. Well, guess what? It's time for you to stop with the beliefs and enter a state of knowing. What do you know? You've been carrying them for how long? They haven't been pitching in. What else do you need to know? Well, I mean, just definitely stop and think about what you already know. Oh, but they're such a good person, and I know that they have so much potential. It's not your place to force someone to accept their potentiality. It is not your place. That is a violation of their sovereign right to decide for themselves what kind of life they want to live. It's not your place. So if that's what's causing you to hold on, I don't know what to say. Card number 5, cultivate love. Get all bubbly. Allow bubbles to contain the ugly. Cultivate love. Your mind is a garden. What are you cultivating in that garden? What are you allowing to be brought to fruition into your actual life? It all starts at the garden. Ooh, there was this other thing that I wanted. I just never posted it. I'll post it. But this thing, it's a quote. Okay. It's some kind of quote. Love yourself enough to leave the table when respect is no longer being served. And people share this a lot. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful sentiment, but take it one step further. Why are you waiting to be served by someone else? Create your own nourishment and set your own table, then invite those who you cherish to join you at your feast. Boom, there you go. My thoughts. I once had people who they formed a group chat to try and destroy me because apparently Archangel Michael was telling them I needed to be destroyed because I'm evil. Mind you, the week before they were telling me they love me and that they can't believe how many people I help. I was just like, yeah, bitches are crazy. I mean, I'm crazy. If someone like me recognizes how fucking crazy you are, that's some over the top shit. But yeah, they were posting this quote, love yourself enough to leave the table when respect is no longer being served. And my thought when I saw this, I knew they were directing it at me. My thought was, why do you keep sitting at my table begging for scraps? Why can't you realize you have your own damn garden, tend your own damn garden, grow your own damn food, process that food, make your own food, set your own table, and invite to your table the people who you cherish. If I'm not invited, that's fine with me, but provide for yourself. You can't try and tear me down because I recognize what you're trying to do with me. You're trying to manipulate me, and I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Only thing I did was cut them bitches off. I was just like, look, I'm leaving this chat. Y'all are fucking crazy. I'm out. That's all I did. Oh, Emmie, she's evil suddenly. Michael told us to destroy. Bitches, Michael don't tell people what to do. They don't tell people what to do. It's just too much. Page of Wands, travel over land. And maybe that landscape that you're going to travel over is within your mind. You know, allowing yourself to travel through the landscape of your mind, allowing the storms of your life to terraform that landscape, to wash away all the muck, to recognize that sometimes the things that we see and don't really value, like, oh, silt, it's so stinky and it's so blah, 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 and we need to wash it off. Well, that silt, that's decay. That's all the plant life that has decayed in the water and settled. That is some of the most richest soil you could ever plant in. There is richness in the decay. There is so much richness in the things that are beginning to rot within your life. Going back to what we said in the beginning, it's about you consciously choosing to see you have all the components that are necessary to make whatever it is that you need to make happen. It's about transmutation, converting one form of currency into another, allowing something that provided before but no longer provides to now be turned into something else that provides you opportunities that you're wanting and needing. It's all about that. This is calling us out. Queen of Pentacles, professional business domineering. You cannot do this to yourself. Okay? You can't. I mean, you can, but why? Why would you do this to yourself? Where you treat your spirituality like a business. Okay, from 9 to 5, it's business hours, it's spiritual hours. So I need to conduct myself in a spirit. Be who you are. Stop with the manufactured authenticity. People get all riled up about cultural misappropriation, talking about hairstyles and shit. Okay, what about all these non-Indian namaste people? What about that? What about how yoga is now used as a status symbol to gain you more followers on Instagram? Ain't nobody complaining about that. That's a very sacred practice. And no one complains about that. So what you need to see now is, instead of allowing yourself to be dragged into things that that really just perpetuate a sense of separation, don't. Use that energy on your growth. Does that mean it's okay when people do intentionally disrespectful things to other cultures? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But why are we still dredging up things that have happened hundreds and hundreds of years ago? Those things happened. They were bad. But continuing to stay there hundreds and hundreds of years ago does not help us to grow now. There's really only one race, which is the human race. Really only one. Okay? It's really only one race. The concentration of melanin in the skin has a lot to do with the region from which your ancestors came from. There's really nothing new under the sun. And if you're going to respect life, respect life. And if you're going to be disrespectful to the living, as well as to those who have passed, then you'll have to be held accountable for that. But we need to stop with, all these distractions that we allow ourselves to be a part of, because really, segregation is segregation is segregation. You're attempting to continue to maintain separateness. You're continuing it. Okay? And that's not how we move forward. If you're going to waste your time and your thoughts on all of these distractions, and this is not to diminish what groups of people have struggled through. I beg to differ. There have been so many different cultures and peoples that have suffered through enslavement. So many. And it's not just white people that have enslaved. Okay? Native American peoples were heavy into the slave trade. Am I saying Native American peoples are bad? No. I'm saying all of us have participated in things, and we're still continuing to participate in it because it's packaged all pretty and politically correct. And that's the thing. We're playing politics, We're turning living into a business, domineering. That's politics. Putting on a show, being domineering, trying to prove that your side, your argument is better. Well, once you reach a certain level of spiritual awareness, of consciousness, you'll realize debate is pointless. Instead of debating, how about we share thoughts? How about we hold symposium? You talk, I listen. I talk, you listen. And we see what we come up with together, and that it's okay to disagree. And this can be scaled down to just your personal life. It absolutely can. It doesn't have to be a global thing. You have to understand creation is a stair-step creation, meaning a larger scale is broken down into smaller, until you get an individuated sense of existence. But really, we are one whole, experiencing things in the most efficient way, which is through fractionation and a sense of individual experience. So 6 of Cups, childhood memories. It's time for us to revert back to that place in our childhood where we just wanted to play with each other. Notice babies, when one baby cries, the other cries too. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to that? Why did we ever allow others to teach us to build walls so tall that we never cry anymore for other people? Because you're strong? You're afraid. You're afraid to feel. You're afraid to recognize that someone else's suffering is a mirroring of your own, a suffering you don't even want to acknowledge. Because if you acknowledge it, then other people will notice, and there goes your status. Just saying. Just saying. There's a lot of things we're afraid of. It's okay to be afraid. Courage is not lack of fear. Courage is what you do in spite of it. So what are you going to do now? What are we supposed to do now? What did you guys get from this? Mercury is going to keep doing its retrograde stuff. And people are going to keep acting the way they act, becoming passionate about expressing what they're needing to express. Much of it you probably won't agree with. The whole thing regarding cultural misappropriation, the other day I hopped on Facebook to check my notifications, and that was a status of, I guess, someone that is on my friends list. And boy, was she passionate about that. And it was like this justification of shaming a specific race because they're biracial and they have a right. Okay. Well, I looked at the comments more, and I felt myself getting triggered. And I was having a conversation with myself, and I was commenting and deleting, like responding to everyone's comments. But I wasn't actually posting it. And then I asked myself, what are you doing? You just wasted like 30 minutes looking at all this, because I had hella comments. And what really caught my attention is one of my really good friends who happens to be white. She commented, and I was like, fuck yes, girl, yeah! Fuck yes! She said, there's no way you are going to force me to take the blame for something people did years ago. I am a good person. I don't practice race. And she really is a really good person. She doesn't practice racism. She's just one of the most loving people you could be. And what, damn her because she's white? Wow, and you're justified because you're biracial? You're hating on half of yourself. That's some shit. I was just like, keep your mouth shut. Don't let her have the freedom to express herself. That is her page that she posted on. Let her express herself, but that is something you do not need to partake in. Allow yourself to grow beyond this, Emster. Grow beyond it. And so I did what was right for me. I unfriended, and then I made a post. If any of you feel the need to participate in that, that's not something I'm ever going to want to participate in. Please kindly remove me from your friends list, because I would prefer to not be exposed to that. It's very upsetting for me personally, and I would prefer not to be exposed. That's just that, sovereignty, recognizing your sovereignty, and no one can tell you what to do, carries with it a huge obligation to also respect other people's sovereignty. As a sovereign, no one is going to tell me what to do. And as a sovereign, I recognize your sovereignty, and I will not trample on it. I will disagree when I disagree, and then I will keep scrolling. And if it's something that hurts my heart enough, I will unfriend and keep that away. Your thoughts are yours. You're perfectly fine having your own thoughts. It's not the people, but the ego that makes people do bad things. I don't think there is such a thing as bad things. I don't think there's good things or bad things. I think there's just things. And what humans really try and grasp, try and really cling to is the intention. The labeling of good and bad has to do with the intention. It's a good thing because I intended good to come of it. But was that a good thing? I'm absolutely sure that passionate post that set me off was meant to be a good thing. It was meant to be a good thing. Y'all are fighting about fucking hairstyles while children are starving in other countries. It's total bullshit to me. To me personally, it's bullshit that you would spend so much time and energy fighting about fucking hairstyles when children are being bombed and starved in other countries. Let me just, I'm thoroughly triggered. So if you find yourself spiritual, if you label yourself as spiritual, and you can participate in debates, waste time and energy trying to participate in debates about what people eat and about the rights of animals and, you know, all of this stuff, yet you don't have time to recognize your own species is committing mass murder. You have no idea. You have no idea of the truth of consciousness. And I'm not saying I'm above you. I'm saying I understand things a little bit deeper. And it frustrates me that you would waste your time and energy on that. But I have to be okay with it because of sovereignty. But just remember that. You waste all this time about the dumbest shit. Who gives a shit how you wear your hair? Who gives a shit? While you're wasting time on that, children are starving. They're suffering injuries that are just But it's okay because at least they're not wearing dreadlocks, right? You know, that's what that post was about dreadlocks. Well, it's not called dreadlocks, but that type of matting of the hair is also very sacred to certain sects within India. They call it jata, and it's a very sacred hairstyle. So let's not think that our specific group is just so fucking special that we created everything. Let's understand, wasn't it science that said we all came from one specific woman, tracing all our mitochondria back to one specific woman? So in that case, aren't we all fucking cousins? Right? We're all cousins. We're all related somehow. Let that sink in. So what do we do from here? Let all of this sink in and figure it out. Let all of this sink in and figure it out. Because there's so much more going on in this world than what we're allowing ourselves to see. So much more. So much more. And if you're going to allow yourself to be distracted, they're distractions. There's nothing empowering about what is being participated in. Nothing. Nothing. And if you guys really want my personal opinion on this, why would a queen ever be bothered by the peasants emulating her grace? You come from a people of royalty, a people who were subjugated to quite a few atrocities, and yet you thrive. Yet you still continue to contribute to humanity. And you want to degrade yourself to being what? A group that's just mourning because you were so victimized? And get the fuck out of here. So many people tried to destroy your group and they couldn't. Recognize that fucking power that you come from. For real. So many people have tried. Maybe it's time for you to stop waiting for people to recognize that you are a powerful people and just be that powerful people. And I don't even want to make blanket statements where like all people are. No, there's a few rotten ones in every single group that do this. They become so vocal. If the rotten ones can be that vocal, why don't we allow the powerful, balanced ones that are a better representation of the greatness of a people? Why don't we allow them to become more vocal? Why don't we elevate their message instead? I'm just saying, I come from a people that were subjugated many times, one after the other, to the point where if you say you're Filipino, it's just assumed you're basically a mutt. Okay. Many times we have been subjugated, yet we continue to thrive. We continue to position ourselves in places of service. Okay. Most of your nurses worldwide are Filipino. Fuck out of here if you think we're just a slave race. Fuck out of here. You can be as offensive as you want, but I guarantee you my aunties and uncles and cousins will still save your fucking life if you're in front of them in an ER. Does that mean my people are weak? Fuck no. That shows our strength. That shows that we can rise above the things that were done to us as a people, still keep our humor intact, and still continue to spread the love that we are taught is an inherent part of our lives. I'm just saying. People can't say, well, that's because you don't know what the people that, man, fuck out of here. Every single people. Okay, some of the most discriminated and abused races includes the Irish, the Chinese. Who the fuck do you think built the railroads? Okay? This is not about comparing. This is about recognizing my people cannot be stopped. I come from that. I embody that power. That kind of power runs through my veins. And I'm going to apply that shit in my life. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. You might look at me and see the coloring of my skin. I might be a little too brown for you. By the time I'm done with you, you're going to love me. You're going to love me. You're going to love the color of my skin. You're going to wish you had more friends like me, more workers like me. And this is something you have no choice in, because I'm going to show you. You have no choice but to mirror the love and empowerment that's within me. And if more people, especially people of minority, would see this, embody it, the people who are trying to create and maintain, perpetuate separation and suffering, they have one hell of a hard time to continue that project. One hell of a hard time. It's not uncommon for people to be like, damn, I feel so deprived. I wish I knew more Filipinos. Fuck yes. You know what I'm saying? Our food is good. We hella funny. Sometimes we cute. I'm just saying. But seriously, embody the power that your ancestors have gifted you. Embody it. Don't allow yourself to be distracted by all of this bullshit arguing. And some people will be like, oh, Emmie's low-key hating on some race. No, I'm not low-key hating on some race. I'm very publicly hating on people who hate. Okay? Hate is hate is hate. I don't give a shit what color your skin is. Hate is hate is hate. And I have every right as a sovereign to feel however I feel. Does that mean I'm going to wish for your demise? Absolutely not. My heart doesn't reflect yours. But I will allow myself to have a genuine emotional response. And unless you're doing just as much to talk about the kids who are being starved and bombed in different countries, I'm going to kindly need you to shut the fuck up about whatever you're griping about with political shit. It's political agenda. I'm not participating in that. Just take it somewhere else. Take it somewhere else. This is about you really recognizing how powerful you as an individual are. You have the ability to change the tide, to terraform the landscape of the human consciousness, not just one person, the entire thing. All it takes is you having no shame, no guilt, and no fear of who you actually are. Don't let someone shame you, or because you were born with less melanin, because you were born with more melanin. Yeah, we're so much more than that. So much more than that. All right, let me just stop this live. It's enough. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. The plan is to come live later today for Expedite, since I missed it yesterday, but we will see. We will see. Love you guys. Bye.